Yep. You know those famous, the Yeppers. D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. D-Boy, I thank you guys for all the compliments and some of the questions I've been asked. I will have a day where I'm going to even share some of the questions. Won't share names to protect the innocent unless they want, but I will share some of the questions asked according to experience for the people that they said this really helped them, and they asked me some questions about their experience, what they're going through, and the application of some of the things we were talking about. So without further ado, let's get to the do. This is going to be on the contrary. On the contrary is about that which is contrary to yourself, to your motivation, anything that's contrary to maybe what you on one side of you wants to do, but always maybe makes you fall short, assists you in falling short, or you can't get through certain things of your life to maybe reach goals and go to the next level, right? So that's kind of what's been happening with the contrary one. I named it that because I started knowing, because AKA contrary ones really gets to a depth of what many call shadow work. During the shadow work, the shadow is actually a reflection of yourself through your life, of things that maybe have produced agony, pains, resentments, different things that are still holding on. And then it notices while you are trying to exceed or have success, it may hold you back or give you aspects of problems, or even you start noticing even the voices talking to you. And it's called, I called the show The Contrary, because one day I call it the contrary one to myself. I noticed that certain things would even speak back at me within me. I'm telling you what, one of the best things you could do is realize that having talks within yourself, with yourself, is extraordinary, because there's aspects to you that operates in different venues, different aspects, different spectrums of yourself that are like the collection of yourself, waiting to be gathered or acknowledged or aware. So we start looking at, what does contrary one do? It will bring you back to the place of many times in its lapse of yourself being part of you. Many have called it the inner child. That connection's there, but it's shadow work, the shadow part of you. On a recent episode, right, video, I showed how, like now, I'm in the sun. There's a reflection from the sun to the sidewalk or the grass that reflects me as an image, but goes to the ground, and it's dark, it's a shadow, and it holds that place. And that's kind of a very occultic or very esoteric meaning of you understanding it as an allegory of yourself. So whatever you've been through that have caused you pain, deaths, abuses, traumas, lacking, all these words that have actually created an attachment to us through the process of our life, dealing with these different aspects of ourselves, has caused us pain. So there's something for that to work through yourself with the shadow work. I even call it shadow dancing, a song I think by one of the Gibbs, or shadow boxing. But instead of the judgments on one side is going to automatically judge the other side that's trying to excel. But don't return the favor, because both are part of you. Both there's a connection of you, and there's one side that needs to heal. And think of another word. I'm trying to think what's a good word for healing. I gotta break that word down one day. Kind of even the word success. We have a show called Word of the Day, and I see that word success, and I start seeing the success, and then I understand of succubus and incubus and all these different things that we have that are even connected into energy aspects. But anyways, back to that. So doing that work on yourself will take you to places, and then you start seeing it as you expand, where you're starting to equip yourself because you have the tools to see things that maybe you could never accomplish, but now you're seeing there's a possibility that you could do, and that you're learning how to take your vehicle or your ship and maneuver those waters that you didn't have time for last time, or you really didn't know how to use your GPS or travel, or didn't have enough fuel, or you had too much leakage to your boat or your ship. Relationships. Notice all big ships, even within our relationships with others, have that word ship. And they're always named feminine, even in the stockyards. But anyways, back to this. There's a ship with this other part because it's connected to you and can come out at any time. So one of the biggest tools to work with it in healing, to keep growing, and to bring it into doing the work with it, is awareness. And as you become more and more aware, those aspects of yourself that are that always work to derail you or to leak you out of energy, that awareness starts to pick up. I seen it last week with an experience with myself, and caught me off guard. And then immediately when I was in it, I seen it, and then recognize how much it sucks the energy out of you. It's like drainage, huge draining, like draining the battery, right? Huge drainage. But I realized that when I went into this project, which there was some weaknesses that always caused me to have things that can come against me, but I needed to do it. And now I look at it instead of like as a challenge. Then when I went into it the very next day or a couple hours later, I took awareness that this could happen. So I was on awareness notice to myself that when this happens, you know what's going to happen. When certain things, you hit certain walls, when you always deal with this. Backtrack. What I mean was that be aware. It's a tool. Be aware. Then I don't let it seep out. The energy seep out, the battery go lower. No leak in the ship. Went through it and seen the other side of it. Actually, you going through these things actually helps that side of you heal, because you're giving it tools and a realization, because it was placed at times in the wrong place. Unless some of my prior videos, you understand about this, what I'm saying when I say this. The inversion of language in a system done that we've been participating in. Awareness, big time tool. We'll talk about other tools. Another big time tool is discipline. Discipline. We'll get into that one later. Like, subscribe. Right above me, you're going to see the like, subscribe, right? And share. Have a great day, D-boy. Yep.